My parents called me after 8 years of no contact and gifted me a house. From the moment I was born, my parents resented me. I was 5 when my dad yelled that I was a mistake for the first time. I didn't know what that meant. All I knew was that his voice scared me. I waddled over to mom looking for safety, but she looked down at me like I was dirt on her shoe. He's not wrong. I was beautiful before you came long. Every fight they had ended the same, with me silently crying in my bed, listening to how much better everything would be if I just died. I never got a cent off them. They didn't buy me groceries. I survived off stealing other kids' lunches and dumpster diving. I moved out the day after graduation. They didn't say goodbye. I didn't either. I spent 6 years learning to love myself and trying to understand I'm not worthless. Then at 24, I met Connor. He was everything the little girl in me needed. He said I love you. He supported my hobbies. Asked how I felt about something before doing it. 2 years in, he proposed. I posted it online. Mom saw it, said nothing. Then 2 weeks before the wedding, my phone suddenly rang. Mom's number. We hadn't spoken in 8 years. My thumb hovered over the screen. I didn't know what to do. Then I put on my big girl pants and answered. The first thing I heard were tears. We weren't good to you. Mom was crying. We're sorry. We're so sorry. I stood frozen in my kitchen. These were the words I'd wanted to hear all my life. We want to make it right, Mom continued. We want to give you the house. My world stopped. I started crying and told Mom I accepted. 1 week later, Connor and I sat across from Mom and Dad in a lawyer's office. Dad slid the papers over. I expected this to be a formal, emotionless transfer, but Mom was squeezing my hand, her eyes wet. Your dad and I would love to be part of your life again. Connor and I signed the papers, and Mom pulled me into a long hug. Sunday dinners started immediately after that. Every week without fail, Mom would show up at my door with housewarming gifts. Dad started inviting me to his men's bowling league games. Connor still didn't fully trust them, but for me, he was willing to try. On Christmas, they came over and we played board games. 4 months of having parents passed. Life had never been better. Then one day, my phone rang. Unknown number. We're calling about the property at 271 Clearview, regarding the $40,000 in unpaid taxes. I hung up immediately. I thought it was a scam. But the next day, a different company called. Your second mortgage payment is overdue. I hung up again. Thursday, IRS letters started arriving. Lien notices, final warnings. Something wasn't right. I pulled up the public property records, searched for the house Mom and Dad gave me. I started clicking through and my jaw dropped. The house they gave us, the one we were living in, had $400,000 in liens, tax debt spanning 8 years, 3 mortgages all in my name now, me, and Connor suddenly owed over $450,000. Everything clicked. My parents didn't give me a house. They never had a change of heart. They gave me a bomb and spent 4 months making sure I never saw the fuse. I called Mom immediately, straight to voicemail, called Dad, inbox full. I grabbed my keys and drove to their house. That's when I saw it, a for sale sign on the lawn. I walked to the front door and pressed my face to the window. No furniture, bare walls, just dust and echoes. I wanted to cry. Then I saw the neighbor across the street watering her flowers. She looked up and smiled. Oh honey, you just missed them. They left for the airport maybe 30 minutes ago. I felt sick. They destroyed me and left again, just like when I was a little girl. Years ago, I would have cried, would have sat on this lawn and just sobbed. But now, things were different. I wasn't alone. I called Connor immediately. You see, what my parents never knew was Connor came from a long line of lawyers. He did handiwork, but his brother was the best fraud attorney in the state. 20 minutes later, we sat at my kitchen table reviewing the legal agreement we'd signed. Connor's brother read it once, then put it down and smiled. They're so screwed. This contract never mentions any debt. That's fraud. He started making calls instantly. Then he hung up and said, I'm having TSA detain them. They're not boarding that plane. We ran to the car. Connor drove, knuckles white on the wheel. We screeched into the terminal and a uniformed officer met us at security. He walked us down a gray hallway and pushed open the metal door. My parents sat handcuffed to a metal bench. Dad's jaw was clenched. Mom's mascara streaked down her cheeks. She saw me and her face flashed with hope. Sweetheart, finally, tell them this is a mistake. 400,000. She flinched like I'd slapped her. You gave me a house with $450,000 in debt, then spent 4 months convincing me you loved me. Tears rolled down her face. Connor stepped towards her. You have a weak soul, woman. A very, very weak soul. He turned to my dad. And you're less of a man than my 9-year-old niece. Dad, the same man who once told me 10-year-old me to kill myself, wouldn't even speak. Drew's voice cut through from the doorway. Just so everything is clear, all the debt goes back to them now. He smiled coldly at my parents. And your retirement fund? IRS gets that too now. I turned toward the door. Enjoy hell. Hopefully you get there soon.